those that use AI versus those that don't to do their job, right?
Absolutely.
And I mean, it 30 to 40% more productive if you utilize
Yeah.
AI to do your job, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I use ChatGPT all the time. And and like that's like I don't need anything as specific as what you guys are building, but like a lot of the stuff like, write me a social media post on
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And then it gives you something, you get past that blank page syndrome and
Yep.
you're actually able to think, what do I want to say? How do we manage this? How do we go about um, you know, wordsmithing it a little bit and then keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things that it's so easy and
Yeah.
it allows like I think when you're in the small business world and you're doing stuff like your most valuable resource you have on a daily basis is your brain power and your attention,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And like it allows me to actually focus on stuff that I need to focus on,
Right.
and do the high value things that frankly that I'm the one that has to do as opposed to drilling way down in a document and trying to read it for.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that you said like that those high value tasks because
Mhm,
that's what it's the lower value tasks of like finding and just
mhm,
word vomiting words on paper so you can then you're going to edit them either way.
mhm,
But
right.
if everyone loves editing rather than having to
Mhm,
create and generate sentences, it's so much easier if
mhm,
you have a starting point. And that's what we really focused on is also what you said is like, you use things like ChatGPT, but you always go back and edit. And that's what one thing that we are huge on is really creating applications that are really human factors
mhm,
focused by keeping the human in the loop
mhm,
continuously though. So,
right.
anybody that tells you like use this and like just it'll write it for you and submit it or,
Mhm,
post it, like don't do that.
yeah.
Everybody can tell when something's written by generative AI more or less at this point.
Mhm,
Um so that's one thing we really 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 teach is like this isn't a final draft. It's your first draft. And now
mhm,
you get to spend instead of where you're spending 80% of your time finding information and
mhm,
then getting the words on paper, now you're spending 10 to 20% of your time doing that. You're spending 80% of your time actually creating a really high quality document where you're
mhm,
fine tune editing, you are, making sure that you've got win themes written in there in the right spots.